You ever think of wearing your hair down?
Who else but a super cool ladies man could play Michael Weatherly, aka DiNozzo's dad? And
I met Whitney coming up at 4:30. Something in a parking garage could be hazardous to your health. And we walk the red carpet with Harrison Ford. News 6 at 4:30 is next. Right now here at 4:30, new concerns for Chicago's First Lady, Mayor Daley, drops everything and joins her at the hospital.
The battle over these flying fish heads to the nation's highest court.
Plus, breaking news, Conan O'Brien makes a decision on his future on The Tonight Show.
Now, this is News 6 at 4:30 in high definition.
Good afternoon, this is News 6 at 4:30. I'm Matt Whitney.
And I'm Nicole Marks in for Carmelo PC. First at 4:30, we are tracking a developing story this afternoon. Chicago's Mayor Richard Daley cancels his afternoon schedule to be with his wife Maggie. Now, Mrs. Daley, who has breast cancer, is not feeling well. Mrs. Daley has been experiencing flu-like symptoms. She's been at Northwestern Memorial Hospital most of the day to meet with her physicians. It might all quite possibly be tied to something she ate. Mrs. Daley is being treated at the outpatient clinic at Northwestern Memorial Hospital. That is where she has received treatment over the years for her breast cancer. Dr. Stephen Rosen, her oncologist, says Mrs. Daley's nauseous feelings are a bit unusual because of this happening after the third treatment yesterday. She did not experience any side effects with the first two treatments. She's receiving fluids, medicine, and is trying to get more rest. Just last month, Mrs. Daley began using a wheelchair while receiving radiation for a lesion found on her leg. She was first diagnosed with breast cancer almost 8 years ago. Mayor Daley did cancel all of his events today to be with her. Ron Huberman did step in for the mayor at an anti-school violence meeting this morning.
Originally, the mayor was supposed to join us today, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to join us today. The mayor has joined Mrs. Daley at Northwestern Hospital where she's not feeling well.
Dr. Rosen says Mrs. Daley should be heading home at any time late this afternoon, perhaps even by now. He adds that he is hoping that this is a blip and nothing more than that.
And now some late breaking news from NBC's Late Night Shuffling. Conan O'Brien says he will not continue on as host of The Tonight Show in a later time slot. He made the announcement this afternoon in a letter sent to the New York Times. As you know, for 60 years The Tonight Show has aired following the late local news. Conan O'Brien says he will have no part in changing that. He also says he has no intention on budging on his decision either. He began his letter to the New York Times in his classic funny man style, addressing it to the people of Earth. But after that, he got pretty serious. In it, he says, "It was my mistaken belief that, like my predecessor, I would have the benefit of some time and, just as important, some degree of rating support from the primetime schedule. Building a lasting audience at 11:30 is impossible without both." He goes on to say, "I sincerely believe that delaying The Tonight Show into the next day to accommodate another comedy program will seriously damage what I consider the greatest franchise in the history of broadcasting. The Tonight Show at 12:05 isn't The Tonight Show, and I cannot participate in what I honestly believe is its destruction." He also says there has also been some speculation about me moving to another network. I can set the record straight. I currently have no other offerings. I honestly have no idea what happens next. Now, NBC wants to push back the starting of The Tonight Show with with Conan O'Brien to 11:05 Central Time to make room for The Jay Leno Show at 10:35. The Jay Leno Show, which debuted at 9 p.m. in September, has struggled to compete in the ratings during that hour. NBC affiliates across the country are unhappy with its performance, which is the main reason why the network wants to make those changes. O'Brien replaced Leno on The Tonight Show last year, and last night O'Brien couldn't help but crack jokes at himself and his unusual situation.
Everybody now wants to know what my plans are. Everyone's asking me. All I can say is I plan to continue putting on a great show night after night while stealing as many office supplies as humanly possible.
Now in that letter, O'Brien also says he does not want to impede on Jimmy Fallon, who hosts Late Night, right after The Tonight Show. He went on to say that no one should spend a second feeling sorry for him, and closed his letter with a joke, apologizing for his trademark red hair, saying, "It's always been that way."
Now let's go to other big story today. Those dreaded Asian carp, the destructive flying fish, are about to be the center of a Supreme Court battle. Today, Illinois' top leaders tried to calm the water. On a scale of 1 to 10, Senator Dick Durbin says carp fighting efforts rate an 8, but he says more can be done. He preferred to see more cooperation between Great Lakes states instead of the lawsuits that have been filed to cut the Great Lakes off from the Mississippi River Basin and the approaching Asian carp. News 6's Charlie Wojciechowski has the story.
Eye to eye with the adversary, the dreaded Asian carp. Today at a special briefing at the productive uses for the fish. In their words, if you can't beat them, eat them.
I think you're going to be hearing more from the DNR along those lines to see what we can do to promote that.
Charlie, I've eaten one before and they taste like chicken.
Doesn't everything? By the way, if you see silverfin on the menu, you're most likely getting Asian carp. And as for the Supreme Court ruling, that could come as early as this Friday.
Now to Vice President Joe Biden's mother, he says her greatest virtue was her courage. The Vice President delivered his mother Jean's eulogy today at her funeral service in Delaware. Jean Biden died Friday after a brief illness. About 700 people attended the funeral, including the first President and First Lady, former President Clinton, several cabinet officials, and members of Congress. Jean Biden was 92 years old.
Senator John McCain refuses to get into the gossip circle when asked about the book Game Change. That's the book that says that the vetting process for Sarah Palin as McCain's running mate was hasty and haphazard. Matt Lauer asked McCain about the process this morning on the Today Show.
That I'm proud of Sarah Palin. I'm proud of the campaign we waged. She energized our party. She will be a major factor in American politics in the future, and I'm proud of our campaign.
McCain said he had no idea who the author's sources were and said he put the whole campaign behind him.
Felt a little warmer out there today,
Yes.
and if you like today, well, you're going to like tomorrow just as much.
Well, I think it felt less cold.
Yeah, nearly 30 today is way better than what we've had the last couple of weeks.
Well, that's right. Let's get a first check on your weather.
You know, it's sad when we treat 30 degrees as a heat wave.
Yes, quite balmy. There's much more ahead on our news at 4:30. The holidays are over, so let the real bargains begin. Why January is the month for deals.
Also, a model and a murder mystery. See the video on the night she disappeared.
Plus, why one man says his orange received some divine intervention.
And on Wall Street today, stocks slipped after a broad sell-off of concerns for a potential government levy of the banks. The Dow fell 36 points, the Nasdaq dropped about 30, and the S&P 500 slipped 10 points today. We'll be right back.